Yeah.
Yes, I know. I already told my. I saw that. And then transfer from the city. Oh, you can talk. Yeah, I know.
Namanda, Sinamanda, Sinamanda, Sinamanda.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dharma School Awards Day and Graduation Service. My name is Mike Shibata, and I'll be the chairperson for the first portion of the service. We begin with the opening meditation followed by announcement.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nama. Nama.
We'll have such a chanting of the Jisake on page 95 of the service book. We have the incense offering about the following representatives, graduating senior Jimmy Clinton. Dharma School student Andrew Kawaguchi. Dharma School teacher Ruby Kato. Sangha Club Tiger Matsumoto. Young Buddhist Association, Elise Fuji. Young Adult Buddhist Association, Dr. Alan Kawaguchi. Adult Buddhist Association, Dolores Matsumura. Stockton Buddhist Women's Association, Sachi Yanokita. Buddhist Church of Stockton, Dasi Fujimori. We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Hamish Shivan.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
It's so wonderful to see all of you this morning. And first I wanted to congratulate, of course, all of our high school graduates and our college and higher education graduates as well. And this is my opportunity to also express my sincere appreciation to so many different people, so many groups of folks who make this service. And of course, our whole Dharma school year very successful. So we wouldn't be here without our Dharma school teachers, without our wonderful organists, and of course, our folks who help us with Zoom, and of course, our friends who join us through Zoom, but also our students for your dedication, for waking up every Sunday morning to join us. And of course, our thanks goes to the parents and loved ones who bring them to temple. And all of the support that our students receive, especially our graduating seniors and our college students, to all of those families and organizations who help support further their education through their scholarships. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you who allow us to be able to come together as a Sangha to support our children in various ways throughout their lives. And so as I was reflecting upon this service, I was always thinking about even my time as a Dharma school student and how this one was my favorite service of the whole year. And of course, that's me thinking of the prizes that we would receive and feeding my ego, of course, of my perfect attendance for so many various years. And of course, the party that we would have afterwards to celebrate the end of the school year. And of course, this is a wonderful time. The summer is a wonderful time for our students to receive respite and take care of their emotional needs, and of course, taking that time off to recharge. And I hope that this goes for all of you as well, to take this opportunity during the summer to recharge and rest, and of course, tend to yourselves, your own personal mental health needs and physical needs as well. And so I appreciate this time that we're able to do that. And this message is actually for the students, but I hope that it touches each and every one of us in regards to even our connection to the Buddha and the Buddha's life. And so as we know, the Buddha had a life of luxury, and he ventured out, but he had so many different questions in his life. He was very much protected from the outside world, but this, even seeing small things around the palace, was causing him a lot of strife. Even things such as a worm being plucked up by a bird, and that bird being swept up by another bird. And of course, this is the way of life, but even this sight that he had seen caused him a lot of strife. And he himself had ventured out outside of the temple walls, or excuse me, the palace walls, to see what the world was, to understand what suffering was, to understand just more about life. And he was able to do that, of course, and he ventured out even further to discover the cause of suffering and how to ease our suffering. And he wanted to share that with other people in India as well. But when he was able to do that, he was able to attain enlightenment, of course. But he was actually ridiculed and rejected by some of his fellow students who said, well, hey, you didn't practice the way in which you were supposed to practice, the way in which we followed while we were trying to attain spiritual awakening too. And so at first he was shunned, but he persevered. And he said, well, I think I have maybe a remedy for your suffering. And those individuals, those 5 individuals who at first rejected him, then became his first disciples or first Sangha members. And so through his perseverance, he was able to share his teachings with others as well. And I think even for us, Even 2,500 years later, even more than that, over 2,500 years later, we're still able to take this lesson from the Buddha's life and look at our own lives as well. Because of course, we will experience our own struggles and maybe our own strife and our own questioning about what we should do in life. But of course, through our own perseverance and understanding the cause of suffering and how we can alleviate that suffering for ourselves and hopefully prevent that suffering for others as well. And even if we do cause suffering for others, that we can be aware of that and hopefully remedy that as well. Learn from our actions, but also persevere and possibly take a road less traveled, to be able to follow our heart, to be able to follow our own truth, the same truth that the Buddha was able to follow as well and share with others. And so you might feel like, I'm just one person, I'm a young individual, how can I do that? But of course, the Buddha's life, even when he was a tiny little baby, showed what wonderful things he was going to do. And I think that can be very true for each and one of our students as you move on to the next grade, as you pursue higher education, your own vocational schools, whatever your dreams may be. And perhaps your dream now might be a little bit different in a few years. And that's okay too, because I changed my major 3 times before I graduated from undergrad and pursued a first degree in counseling psychology until I found my true passion of the ministry. But I share that because even though I changed my major and I changed my mind about what I was passionate about, all of those skills continue to stay with me. And I think that's very true with the way in which the Buddha led his life too. He knew where he had lived and the experiences that he had in the palace, and he remembered that as he was studying and as he was searching for enlightenment. And all of these experiences made him who he was. And of course, all of these experiences in your lives and all of our lives make us who we are. And that could include happiness and sadness, birth of loved ones, loss of loved ones, and so many other trials. But I think if we can truly think about all of these teachings in our everyday lives, we're able to see all of the lessons that the Buddhist teachings allow us to have in our everyday lives. So I wish all of the students well, especially those of you who might be going away, but even though you might be staying close to home, I wish you all well in your next school year. And of course, we'll always be here to welcome you back home and wish you well if you're not able to see us, if you're pursuing your dreams in another town. But just always remember, you're always welcome to come back, and we'll always love to see you. So thank you so much, everybody, again, for your kind attendance today and in support of our students. And I wish you all a wonderful summer, and of course, be able to see you for the bazaar in Oakland for this year and the Church Street services during the summer as well. So to conclude my message, because I know on the next part are the Dharma School Awards, so I don't want to keep everybody waiting for that and be long-winded. But thank you again for all of your support, even for me as well. I couldn't do my role here at the temple without all of your help and support. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart as well. To conclude my message, will you please join me in the question? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you, Reverend Candice, for the Dharma School message. We now have our Dharma School Awards. The teachers come up and classes called nursery and kindergarten. Nursery honorable mention is Evelyn Diaz. And James Nancy. Can the great grandmother of Evelyn Diaz come up? Kindergarten honorable mention, Ken Tran.
Daddy, where's my rock?
The students are here today. If a family member can come up and accept the awards.
Where's my rock?
Grade 8. The teacher's name.
That's the honor boy.
First place, Ella Uemura. Grade 9. Third place, George Fuji. Grade 10. Grade 10, second place, Alice Kawaguchi. Andrew Kawaguchi. Grade 11, first place, Emily Wong. Grade 12, perfect attendance, Jimmy Dutton. This is his third year. Casey Memorial. This is their 7th year. Second place, Elise Fuji. Today's service ends the first year of in-person Dharma school since the pandemic. I would like to recognize those associated with Dharma school. First of all, Reverend Dennis Shibata. Come forward and stand and move. I'd also like to recognize Reverend Yukiko Motoyoshi for all of her help and support this year. We'll go with Dharma school teachers, organists, pianists, and the virtual tech support crew. Peggy Martin. Leanne Yu. Ruby Kato. Kenny Ayashi. Lee Bagshaw. Chad Shibata. Tiffany Shibata. Harry Wong. Kathy Fujimori. Charles Bagshaw. Alex Sagala. We had a teacher who retired and last year, but he continued to help this year with the Open Design project. Kenneth Hamamoto. I'd like to also recognize an assistant in the 3rd to 6th grade is Jamie Bells. Our coffee hour coordinators. our coffee hour coordinators, Linda Kawaguchi, Dr. Alan Kawaguchi. Alan, get one. Helping out in our kitchen during our luncheons. They have whole time. I'd like to thank everyone for their participation and assistance in the Dharma school during the school term. We have some teachers who will be retiring in a few years. So if anybody wants to consider becoming a teacher, please see Reverend Candace or myself. Also, thank you for your attendance and participation. We have Gotha Farewell verses 1 to 3, Service Book 1, page 156. It's also included in the program, so please follow by the golden chain.
Golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu.
For announcements, save the date, Saturday, August 5th. We are planning, we are celebrating the case of one. We will be back in person. Raffle prizes are being requested and would greatly be appreciated. Reverend Candace Online Book Club will meet again next on June 28th at 6:30 p.m. The current reading is Buddhism of the Heart. Please email Reverend Shibata or contact the office if you're interested. Please join us for our morning service on Sunday, July 30th. Dharma School will be taking a vacation and resume on September 10th. Sangha Club is continuing collection of aluminum cans and recyclable plastic bottles. Donations may be left by the white bin under the carport area. Help keep recyclable bottles and cans out of our landfills while supporting one of our youth organizations. Following today's service, Dharma School is inviting everyone to lunch in the reception room of the gymnasium.
Get the car wash.
Are there any other announcements? Yabo will be having a pizza day night on Saturday, June 17th from 5 p.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Are there any other announcements?
Okay, hi everybody. If you're not already aware, the Buddhist Church of Stockton has an inclusion committee, and this has been a project of mine that I've been really passionate about to talk more about awareness and inclusion at our temple. And I've been working with Ichimi, which is an organization who is an affiliated organization, part of the Gardena Buddhist Church in Southern California. And they're an organization who works with the temple and with the community about spreading awareness and inclusion for our LGBTQ plus family members, of course, members and their family members, to ensure that they have a safe space within our Sangha. And so I'm so fortunate to work with them, our community is so fortunate to work with them. And we are planning a half a day in-person workshop on August 26th here at the temple. And we will be premiering their video that they've been working on, an educational video called A Profound Silence. And it features various individuals, ministers, including myself, who are allies, parents of LGBTQ plus individuals, and others who identify as LGBTQ plus individuals as well. And so this will be, again, the premiere of their video locally here. And this will be actually a district-wide event, so I'll be inviting the other temples as well. And we'll have a Q&A session with some of the folks from Ichimi, and then we'll have some workshops. And so we're hoping to do maybe like a 9 to 2. And I just wanted you to put that on your radar. And we'll put out some more promotional materials and registration information in the next Karma or newsletter. And then I'll be sure to ask our webmaster to put it on our website as well. But please keep your ears and your eyes open about this upcoming very important and near and dear to my heart workshop that we'll have on August 26th, starting at 9 a.m., probably until 2 p.m. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
We have a guest today, Vivian. Welcome to the service. If not, this concludes the Dharma School portion of the service. students, preschool through sixth grade, just message class. Jesus is a good advocate while reading and offering incense.
They go to reception. They have to go to reception or reception?
Preschool through sixth grade has to go into the reception in the gym. Thank you.
We don't want you falling asleep. So we're trying to adjust the lights. Can you still see this? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Shall we turn the lights down in the Onaiji, maybe so you can see it? It's okay? Okay. Okay. We want to be able to see our guest speaker today too, so. And Debbie, of course.
So welcome, everyone. As Vice President of Religious Education, I have the pleasure of introducing 7 special individuals who have reached that important milestone in their lives, graduation. We have 4 young people who have graduated from high school and will begin what I feel is the next fun chapter, college. 2 adults who have graduated from college and will hopefully fulfill every parent's wish, gainful employment. And finally, 1 adult who we've seen grow up in the church and will soon become a doctor of optometry. But before I introduce them, let's start our celebration with a graduation message from Fred Corporella. For those of you who don't know Fred, he is a longtime member of the Buddhist Church of Stockton. Son Stephen received a perfect attendance award from grades K through 12 every year because Fred brought him to church every week. Due to that commitment, Fred says he can chant, and I heard it, he can chant Juice Get without looking at the service book. For many years, he coached basketball. He has served as a member of the board of directors for many years and was VP of special events for more than 1 term. Fred was born and raised in Stockton. He graduated from Cleveland Elementary School, Stockton Junior High School, Stagg High, and Stanislaus State. You know him as the guy who wears shorts and sits in the foyer and sells tickets. So Fred, come on up to deliver your message.
Good morning, everyone. Say, that's the only slide, no, there's a couple more slides. I'd like to thank Debbie for that wonderful introduction. And not because she's my sister-in-law, but because there were things. Okay, today is graduation day for here at the temple, June 11th, 2023. And what will I talk about? Well, I'll be short so everybody can get out of here. First, we'll have a few words from some well-known individuals on graduation. Portion of one well-known individual's graduation talk that is a little different take on the typical graduation speech. And a few words of advice from the speaker to all the graduates. First, I thought that I didn't have a lot many wonderful words to say. So we found some quotes from some well-known individuals. And this is, the first would be Michelle Obama. And this is from a graduation speech she gave at Tuskegee University in 2015. Says, I have found this journey has been incredibly freeing. No matter what happened, I have the peace of mind knowing that all the chatter, the name calling, the doubting, all of it was just noise. It did not define me. So I think what she's trying to say here is, don't let all of what you hear and all that talk bother you, graduates. You're on your own, you're your own individual, and you'll make your own way. Next, we have Academy Award-winning actress, and Meryl Streep, and her quote was, this is at Barnard College in 2010. This is your time and it feels normal to you, but really there is no normal. There is only change and resistance to it and then more change. And I put that in because it sounds kind of Buddhistic where we're constantly preaching impermanence. That's exactly what she was trying to point in that. This was from J.R. Downing from Harvard University, and we know her as author of all those Harry Potter books. If you read Harry Potter, raise your hand. I'm not raising my hand because I've never read one. She says, I stopped pretending to be anything other than what I was. My greatest fear has been realized. I had an old typewriter and a big idea. Rock bottom came, the solid foundation for which I rebuilt my life. So this is, she's almost saying that she reached the bottom and she decided to turn her life around. And actually now is a very well-known author. Oprah Winfrey, this was also at Harvard University in 2013. Learn from every mistake because every experience, encounter, and particularly your mistakes are there to teach you and to force you into being more than who you are. And then figure out what is the next right move. And the key to life is to develop an internal, moral, emotional GPS that can tell you which way to go. So, as we all know, as the adults in here, we know that we make many mistakes, and the best of us learn from them and don't make the mistake again. And then sometimes we don't learn from them and we keep making it. Next, our talk show host, Conan O'Brien. This was at Dartmouth College. So another Ivy League schools for all our Ivy League graduates here. There are a few things more liberating in this life than having your worst fear realized. Today I will tell you that whether you fear it or not, disappointment will come. The beauty is that through disappointment, you can gain clarity. And with clarity comes conviction and true originality. Hard work, be kind, and amazing things will happen. There's a very upbeat approach to graduation, which we're going to have a dissenting opinion on that in a little bit here. This is another actress, Kerry Washington. You and you alone are the only person who can live the life that can write the story that you were meant to tell. So it's up to you. It's on you. The onus is on you, graduates. You can do what you have to do. Now I included this one. This was David Foster Wallace, speech he gave at Kenyon College way back in 2005. Now, I don't know if anybody here is familiar with David Foster Wallace. He's an American author, and he wrote one of the definitive American novels called Infinite Jest. And I'll read this to you, and I'll have a comment. 20 years after my own graduation, I have come gradually to understand that the liberal arts cliche about teaching you how to think is actually shorthand for a much deeper, more serious idea. Learning how to think really means learning how to exercise some control over how and what you think. It means being conscious and aware enough to choose that you pay attention to and to choose how you construct meaning from experience. Because if you cannot exercise this kind of choice in adult life, you will be totally hosed. Think of the old cliche about the quote, the mind being an excellent servant, but a terrible master. And I will say, realize that, and then his book, Infinite Jest, is about 600 pages of this heavy type of writing. But I think David Foster Wallace here is trying to tell you that you have a mind, it's an excellent servant, but it's a terrible master, which I think is something we have heard many times before. Now, we're going to have a kind of a dissenting opinion on most of the graduation speeches. And this is from Mr. Bill Gates. So if we equate wealth on how powerful you are, we're talking about one of the most wealthiest people in the United States. I found this from a flyer. Love him or hate him, and surely hits the nail on the head with this. Bill Gates recently gave a speech at a high school about 11 things they, the students, did not and will not learn in school. He talked about how feel-good, politically correct teachings created a generation of kids with no concept of reality, and how this concept set them up for failure in the real world. Now, I'm not going to go over all 11 of the rules, but just a few of them. But I do have copies if you'd like to see a flyer of all 11 of them and see exactly the same. This first rule, and rule 1, life is not fair, get used to it. Us adults know that life will not always be fair. You will be maybe denied a job promotion that you thought you should get, or there may be some loved one who passes away early in your life. But the only choice you have is to get over it, because life is not going to be fair. It's going to be what you make of it. And probably the most important thing is how you deal with it. The second rule, was rule 4. If you think your teacher is tough, wait till you get a boss. I know there's a few teachers in here, at least one, because I'm married to it. But yeah, your teacher in school, there's rules that they teach by, and what they can say and what they can't do. And your boss isn't confined to those rules. Your boss, if you screw up, your boss won't come over to you and say, oh, you did this wrong. Here, let me show you how to do it right. The boss is likely to come up to you and say, you gotta be pretty stupid to do it that way. You know, and then laugh at you and walk away. There's good bosses and there's bad bosses. Some bosses are nurturing and you will run into them. But there's always an opportunity to run into the one that probably shouldn't be a boss because they have 0 personal skills. is rule 6. If you mess up, it's not your parents' fault. So don't whine about your mistakes, learn from them. So that was a message that was in a few of the previous messages you saw about and read on the screen. And as a student, you always have that fallback position because 99 times out of 100 you're living at home and you have your parents. When you're out of your own, when you're away at college, you're away at college. It's you and you alone. And you have to learn from those mistakes. Hopefully you were raised where you made some mistakes growing up, but they were minor and your parents were able to address them with you. And you learn, and now you know how to deal with it. And here's one for all you parents. Before you were born, your parents weren't as boring as they are now. They got that way from paying your bills, cleaning your clothes, and listening to you talk about how cool you thought you were. So before you save the rainforest from the parasites of your parents' generation, try delousing the closet in your own room. And I think what Bill was trying to say here was, yes, you graduates are being left with a world that has a lot of problems, but before you can address those problems, take care of yourself. Rule 8. Your school may have done away with winners and losers, but life has not. In some schools, they have abolished failing grades, and they give you as many times as you want to get the right answer. This doesn't bear the slightest resemblance to anything in life. Chances are you won't get a second chance. When you go in for that job interview, if you screw up the job interview, you're not going to get the job. They're not going to call you back and give you a second chance. So what I take from this is if you're going to do something, be prepared and be prepared to do it correctly and thoroughly. This rule 9. Life is not divided into semesters. You don't get summers off, and very few employers are interested in helping you find yourself. Do that on your own time. Yeah, employers are interested in you making them money. They're not really too concerned about your well-being or how you're feeling. They have an obligation to themselves, to a corporation, or to somebody. And if you want to find yourself, you don't do it at work. And the last rule we'll talk about from Bill is rule 11. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll end up working for one. So obviously Bill considers himself a nerd. And I think we could amend that to say, be nice to everyone. We just said that in the golden chain. But something I heard years ago, a proverb that says, be nice to the people you meet on the way up, because you might meet them on the way down. Okay, now I read when I was researching graduation speeches that you should have something personal, and I'll talk about a whole bunch of other people. So I will give you some, I don't know if it's sage advice, but that sounded pretty good. And I'll relate a story about when I went for a promotion once where I was employed at the Radiation Laboratory in Livermore. And the individual doing the interviewing looked at my resume and saw I had a degree in history. And he said, that history degree wasn't anything to help you with this job. And I shockingly told him, yes, you're right. My resume does say I graduated with a degree in history. But the resume also shows that I graduated high school in June of 1968. I started college in September of 1968. I graduated in June of 1970 with an AA degree. Anna graduated with a bachelor's degree in history in June of 1972. What that tells you, what this resume says, is that when I start something, I finish it. And I don't think you took that too kindly because, I mean, you did the job. But I did learn some advice from that. And that is, graduates, your goal is important. But the road you travel to get there can also be just as important. Okay, we summarize what we've heard today. You've heard and read parts of graduation speeches by some well-known individuals. You've heard and read parts of a graduation speech that was somewhat out of the ordinary. And at last, you heard some few words of advice from your speaker. Now, the way this graduation speech went was how I was taught to give speeches at work. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. So there's no confusion there. And in conclusion, congratulations to all the graduates, and may you and all of us walk in this noble path every day of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Some of our graduates couldn't be with us today. Either they had prior obligations or they haven't made their way back to Stockton from wherever they're at for school. But what I'd like to do is read each name and ask, and if you're present, please come up. Or if there's a representative from your family or a friend, please come up and receive your certificate of congratulations from the Buddhist Churches of America and your gift from the church. Pause for a photo with Reverend Candace. Okay? So we'll start with the high school crowds. Our first graduate is Jimmy Dutton, the graduate of Joseph A. Gregory High School.
I haven't seen. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's going to be scholarships.
Elise Fuji, Lincoln High School. Casey Hamamoto. I know Casey couldn't be here with us today, so I'd like Emily Wong to come up and receive Casey's certificate and gift. And the last of our high school graduates is Jake Takahashi. I don't know, I know Jake isn't here. I don't know if there's a member from his family here or not. But if not, we will make sure that he that we forward this certificate. On to our college grads. From California State University Fullerton, Christina Matsumoto, and I know Christina is still down in Southern Cal, so I'll ask her mom, Lynn, to come up.
One, two, three, and
Chance Mizuno. Chance is a graduate of San Jose State University. And then our last graduate is Kelsey Hayashi, who is a graduate of Inter-American University of Puerto Rico School of Optometry. And I know that Kelsey and her mom, Candy, and the rest of the family are currently making their way back from Puerto Rico back to California, so she could not be here today. But again, we will make sure that she gets her gift and her certificate. So congratulations. Lynn,
oh, yeah.
Lynn, do you want the representatives or just the actual grads? Okay, Emily just says. Okay, just the grad. Okay.
Should we do 2 and 2? Like it's not too. Oh, everyone you graduated. Accomplished.
This year we had some deserving applicants for scholarships. I'm honored to read the name of the scholarship and ask a representative to please come forward to present that scholarship, and then I will read the name of the recipient. So first, we have the Dr. Deborah Psyche Memorial Scholarship. So if Sensei could please present that scholarship. And the recipient of this scholarship is Elise Fuji. So Elise, why don't you just stay? The Sumiko Kochi Scholarship, I don't think anybody from the Kochi family is here with us today. So Sensei. This scholarship also goes to Elise. Virajira and Seiki Yamada Memorial Scholarship. Is there anybody from the Yamada family here? If not, the recipient of that scholarship goes to Casey Hamamoto. So, the Yoshio and Clara Yamada Memorial Scholarship goes to Elise Fuji.
It's a different picture.
I'm purposely making them stand up. The Wilfred and Catherine M. Gotanda Memorial Scholarship goes to Casey Hamamoto. Next is the Dr. John and Carolyn Fujimori Memorial Scholarship, and I know Kathy's here to present that. And the recipient of that scholarship is Casey Hamamoto. I know that Jake Takahashi couldn't be here today, but he did receive the Aichi Shinbokai scholarship, so we'll make sure that we forward his scholarship award to him. And Sachi, if you come up. Our next scholarship is the Stockton Buddhist Women's Association Award for a high school student. And that scholarship goes to Elise Fuji. Tiffany will present the YBA award. And the YBA scholarship goes to Elise Fuji. And Dolores Matsumura will present the Adult Buddhist Association scholarship. And the other award goes to Casey. Sensei. The next scholarship is the Masayuki Ishihara Memorial Scholarship. Oh, is Mrs. Ishihara here? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. So this year, the Masa Ichihara Memorial Scholarship goes to Casey Hamamoto. The next scholarship is the Yutaka Bob and Hanae Watanabe Memorial Scholarship. Is there anybody from the family? And the Watanabe Scholarship goes to Elise Fuji. Darlene will present the last scholarship, which is the Buddhist Church of Stockton Scholarship, this year in memory of George Kitagawa. And that scholarship goes to Casey Hamamoto. We do have one final scholarship to present, and I'd like Darlene to do the honors.
So each year, the Federation of Dharma School Teachers League presents the Mr. and Mrs. Fred Mita Scholarship. And this scholarship was established in the mid-60s by Mr. and Mrs. Mita from Watsonville. And my cousins all can attest to the fact that they were very interested in the youth becoming part of the temple and part of the Buddhist community. So this year we had some excellent applicants, and the winner of this year's scholarship is from Stockton, and that's Miss Elise Stucci. Unfortunately, the check is in the mail. There's a lot of paperwork when you deal with BCA, but I'll read you the certificate we have for her that is signed by Bishop Parada. So it's the Buddhist Churches of America Federation Dharma School Teachers League presents to Miss Elise Fuji the Mr. and Mrs. Fred Mita Scholarship, June 11th, 2023, to honor and give recognition to an outstanding Buddhist youth. May you continue to discover the benefits of following the Shin Buddhist path. And again, it's signed by myself on behalf of the Mita Scholarship Committee and Bishop Reverend Marvin Harada. So congratulations.
So that concludes the graduate and scholarship portion of today's service. Congratulations to all of the graduates and to the scholarship award winners. They're all very deserving. And please take a moment to say congratulations to them when you see them. Thank you again for coming.
No, it's in perception.
So if you didn't have a chance to offer incense, please go ahead and do so. And of course, everybody is invited to the gym in the reception room for the reception for today's service. So before we conclude, will you please join me in Gashel. Namu Amidalitsu. Namu Amidalitsu. Namu Amidalitsu. Namu. Thank you, everybody, and have a great summer. Everybody.
But too long.
Oh, that's okay. And you know, there's so, you have to think of camera nowadays, huh? So it's okay. And you know, I'm taking Mark, she can say it for everyone. So can you make sure you get that? It's
I missed it. I was sitting there. See, I got it. Oh, I'll go to the. I know, I know. What do you have to say, James? I told him, maybe Scott, I'm gonna disturb the horse over next morning. He's the only kid I know can talk and chew, so at the same time. That's good though. Good. We want him to be.